Today's guest is the reason your favorite films feel like memories you never lived, but somehow still miss. Casey Obiajulu is a Nigerian cinematographer whose work doesn't just light scenes, it lights truth. He's the eye behind the multiple award-winning Rehearsal, the lyrical intensity of Over the Bridge, and the visual slow burn thriller, Three Cold Dishes. With a camera as his compass, Casey doesn't just frame images, he frames intention. He's moody in the best way, poetic with his pixels, and allergic to mediocrity of every form. Welcome to my chair, Casey.
Misfits and Dreamers.
Hi.
Hi.
Casey,
Hi.
how you doing?
Alive so far?
What's it like being a man?
Being a man?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, man. Do you ask the hardest questions first? I'd say privileged.
Mm.
In one word.
In one word. Why? Why do you say privileged?
I think as men we have a lot of elbow room. With certain roles in life compared to women.
Mm.
And it's hard to explain because I have sisters, I have a mother. I've seen what life is like for them. Compare that to me, I would say I think I'm privileged. I mean, with how life is naturally, how nature is towards men compared to women.
What's it like being a part of two brothers?
Exciting. I was once a part of a group.
A dance group?
No, a rap group.
A rap group?
Yeah.
You?
Yes.
Wow.
I used to rap back in school.
Somehow I can see this.
You're psychic.
No, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can actually see you
I used to
rapping.
be a part of a rap group called Mud House, Minds United by Destiny, way back in Jos. So having to form like a band with Adiola and calling it Two Brothers was really a dream come true because I wanted to do something important with Mud House. I was young, very young. And my dream was to, tour with Mud House. We held meetings in my house. I talked about it. We had people in the team. We had Funkadelics. We had Black Basics. We had J Uno. We had Free Thought. Austin. We used to have visitors like Ice Prince, Mode 9, Suka Sound. It's been a while. Overdose. But eventually, my rap career didn't take off. Mind you, I was in film school at the time as well, so I think film stuck.
What do your tattoos mean?
I can only show you 3. My grandma, paternal grandma, has a band like this, and she's late now. So this is for her. We have matching tattoos. So this is a phoenix. It reminds me of a time in my life. Um, this is new. I got this a few days ago, and it's a tree of life. You know, my journey with all the energy traveling around that and stuff.
So you know you can just talk about the phoenix and a time in your life and move on from that.
It's not something I really want to talk about. It was,
A time.
yeah,
But you're always this quiet.
when I'm uncomfortable.
I can tell.
Yeah,
So what would make you comfortable right now?
nothing.
Nothing.
Takes me a while.
Okay.
I hope I'm not being difficult.
No, you're not. You're being you.
Okay.
And that's fine. So what did growing up in your home teach you about presence, silence, and expression?
Again, I would say that I'm lucky having the kind of mother that I have. My parents were separated at a very young age. I lived with my dad until I was, what, 16. And then I moved in with my mom. So I moved around a lot. So I lived with different people, family, friends, my dad sometimes, my mom. But when I started living with my mom, I lived with my mom full time. But then a few years later, I started living on my own. And I started living on my own very young. I was 19 or so. And so, but I picked up a lot of stuff about being silent. Yeah. Moving around can come with a lot of chaos. From family, friends, random people. So it was kind of tough, you know. But it taught me to always be quiet. You know, people would say, "Oh, Kiss is quiet. He doesn't talk too much," and that's actually not true. I mean, when I hang out with my kid, I'm usually the loudest in the room. Unless I'm tired. Yeah. I hang out with my grandma, I'm usually the loudest as well, because she's my favorite person. You know. But as much as I'm quiet, I don't speak. I have a lot of voices in my head, and I can hear it, or I can hear them loud and clear. So being quiet is usually me paying attention to what's happening up there.
Those voices, what do they say?
Depends on the moment. Depends on what I'm dealing with at that time. And like I said, the phoenix reminds me of something. Reminds me of a voice that I don't want to hear anymore.
Are you hearing voices now?
Not now. But sometimes I hear it before I go to bed. Depends, like I said, depends on what I'm feeling in the moment, what it is that I'm surrounded by, how settled in I am. And yeah, man, it depends on a lot of things.
What about presence? What did growing up teach you about presence?
You're tricky. Yeah. I mean, being present or having present parents or.
No, it could be anything. In life, we're influenced by so many things, and we pick up so much unconsciously and consciously. And somehow it influences our perspectives on different things.
Yeah.
And now presence may not necessarily be from a person. It may be from a number of people, it may be from people who take up space around you. It may be from what you notice when people come into your space. It may be from people being present in your life or absent. It may be from what it was like for you to be present in a particular space. So when I say, what did growing up teach you about presence? It could be any of those things. It could just be, I just want to know what you picked up when you were growing up.
Like I said, my parents are separated, right? It wasn't the most fun upbringing or growing up. And half the time I had to be the one who was present for myself. Half the time. And it was very difficult. Man, becoming an adult and a father eventually. I had so many things I had said to myself I would never do based off those experiences that I eventually found myself doing. And I mean, generally as a person, not just as a father or as a person. And most times I would be like, man, I thought I said I would never do this. Yet I do it and I drive it through to the finish line. And it taught me that change will always happen in a man's life. No matter how much you try to run away from it. And the most important thing was or is would always be for you to be present for yourself. That's what some people say, self-preservation. That's what some people call it, but like, yeah.
Self-preservation, showing up for you, taking care of you.
I don't even do that enough. I don't even think I do that at all.
Why?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's sometimes I think I'm a ticking time bomb. It's waiting to detonate. And that's because every time I find myself in positions where I shouldn't be. And that's because I'm constantly looking out for other people and forget to look out for myself. And again, that's why I said I need the Phoenix. And I got one. He reminds me to always take a break sometimes.
I like that. What's it like working behind the camera?
The best thing in the world.
Why? Why is that the best thing in the world? Aside from the fact that you're passionate about it.
I get to build worlds that people never knew were possible. I was working on a film, or I am working on a film right now, and I'm in post production. So when I shot this scene, it was nice and stuff. But when I look at it, I can remember how many scenes had been shot in that same space. It looks very much like most of the other films. I'm like, you know what, I can make this different. And I started making notes, scrambling things that I can change in the scene in post production and all that. And I remember that I had imagined it while I was on set. And I remember the actors watching it on the big screen and they were like, oh, is this the same place? Why does it look so different? That in itself is magical when you look at their faces and they can't recognize themselves or what they were doing or where they are. So to me, it's the best thing in the world. It's the only thing I know how to do. It's the only thing I'm good at.
It seems to me like you live in your head a lot.
Rent free.
For you to be able to create worlds like that and build stuff that build something out of nothing, it takes someone who is very much in tune with other realms that exist in their head. And I think that that's something that also developed from you being on your own from a very young age. You living with yourself, being in your head. I think that you found a way to channel that. What do you think?
That can be true. To be honest, not much younger, I was bullied a lot by other kids for many reasons. First of all, my mom was famous growing up. So she was a radio host, Radio Nigeria in Ogo. So she used to give me shout outs on radio. So the other kids were jealous. And they'll kick my butt for having such a fantastic mother who would give me shout out on radio. And at the time, I was the only kid, so they would make fun of me for being the only kid. And when I tried to fight back, because I was much smaller, they would, know how kids can be, beat me. And I would go home. My dad would tell me, a lion does not give birth to a goat. I never fought back. But one day I did. And I kicked one of the kids so hard in the liver. He was at the hospital. That's by the way, but most of the time I would be on my own. For most of it, I liked being on my own. And I got comfortable there. I enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. I can't remember how many times I've left my house to go anywhere. So it's either I'm at work or I'm home. Those are the only two places you can constantly find me. But recently I was told that I have to meet people. I have to go out. I have to talk to people so people know that I exist. In fact, some people know my name but don't know what I look like. I was made to post a picture on my Instagram so people can put a face to my name. I did that. So I enjoy being on my own as much as I can.
Are you enjoying our conversation?
Not really.
Why?
I feel very open.
You don't like that?
No. While I was inside, I contemplated leaving a few times.
I know. Your body language said so.
I'm so sorry.
You don't need to apologize for being you. You know what I think? You've apologized twice now. And the first time you said, I'm so sorry. I hope I'm not being too difficult. The second time I noted your body language, you apologized again. I think that you are accustomed in your mind to nobody wanting you around or to people not liking you, that you just assume that that may be the case before anyone gets a chance to say anything. I'm enjoying our conversation. I know you're not.
I don't think it's about the second reason of people not liking me, because I really don't care. It's more about the fact that I don't like any kind of drama. And I easily get exhausted from talking. I feel like talking can be exhausting. There are days I feel like by 10 a.m., I feel like I've finished saying the amount of words I'm supposed to say in a day.
For the day.
And thankfully, if I'm not working, I was like, yeah, man, I can sit here and just enjoy my own presence when I'm afforded that. If somebody's not trying to call my phone or anything, I get anxious when my phone rings sometimes.
I was just about to ask you, do you pick up phone calls?
If I don't know the number, no. If sometimes I know the person, I just don't want to talk and I let it ring. Sometimes I just sit there and play video game till my thumb hurts. So yeah.
Your face really lit up when you were talking about building other worlds. And when we started talking about filmmaking, cinematography, seems like your happy place.
Like I said, it's the only thing I'm good at.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that's the only thing you're good at?
Because in all honesty, I do not have any. Well, I do have the other talent, but like they never took off. And I can play football, soccer, as some people would call it. I can rap. But genuinely, I haven't done any of those in the last 15 years. I've been a filmmaker for 15 years now. And since the day I started doing this, I dropped every other thing. And like you said, nothing makes me happy than being at work. Or maybe the only other thing that makes me happy like that would be hanging out with my son.
What's that like?
Beautiful. It can be stressful, but it's beautiful. And he's a boy, so trying to stop him from killing himself.
I don't think that that's the only thing you're good at. I think that that's the only thing you pursued.
Well, that's a much more articulate way to put it. I am.
When we put it that way, and if you think about it that way, I think that you think more of yourself.
That can be true. I don't know. Just certain things I choose not to think about or even engage at all. Like I said, it's stressful to think, to talk, to even exist sometimes. So it just makes sense to just close your eyes and pretend like this world doesn't exist sometimes. You should try it.
What do you think about mentorship?
I think if you want to be successful, you need a mentor.
Do you have mentors?
3 of them, firsthand.
What's that like, having mentors?
I think I don't even think they know what they mean to me.
Hmm.
All 3 of them helped shape the man I am today. And I will forever be grateful to those men for opening their doors to me when I asked them. I didn't even ask them. They just took me under their wings and we took off. Till today, every time I call, they answer. I just haven't called in a long time. 'Cause, well, I have a lot of stuff figured out. But like, I still call them for advice.
What about just calling them for life?
I do that. I run into them sometimes. And I tend to hug them every time I see them.
You do? What do those hugs feel like?
Comforting.
Hmm.
We live in a world where people don't appreciate people a lot until they're gone. And every time I hug them, I feel like I am telling them how important they are to me. So it's my way of saying to them or saying thank you to them. They gave me 7 years of their lives, training me, tutoring me. Right. Without asking for anything in return. The only thing they asked of me was to be an amazing filmmaker. But one of them would always make sure that I'm more than a filmmaker. He would advise me about being a father, even though I was a father before him. He would advise me about being a man. He's just a few years older than I am, but like he started life before me. So he was the first mentor I ever had. I mean, aside to my mother, who is my mother, but like someone outside my family who I looked up to. With these 3 men, there's 3 amazing filmmakers.
I love that you have that. What would you want to pass on to your kid?
Love, kindness. It's something I have come to realize, to not be given unconditionally or for free. If that is the only thing I'm able to give onto them, I think I like really teach them to be people who are kind. I try to be sometimes, and I see how hard that can be. So, yeah.
What do you think fatherhood is healing in you?
What do I think it's healing in me? Most of the things I struggled with growing up was not feeling like the people around me cared about me. So, like I said, I moved around a lot growing up. You know, my family, friends, aunts, grandma, my dad, my mother. And for everyone, it was business as usual. You wake up, you're going out, and like nobody really asked me how I felt what I needed, what I wanted. Being able to, I don't get to see my kid very often. That is my fault because I'm always busy. But when I do, I tend to want to talk to him, know what he wants, what he needs, how he's feeling about everything. Like, I'd ask him, how's school? And he goes, school is fine. And that's usually never enough for me. It's like, no, tell me everything. Tell me about Mrs. Njoko, your teacher. How was she in past week? And then I realized when I ask him detailed questions like that, he goes off and starts to tell me everything. New friend he made in school. There's this kid in his class called Michael. He never stopped talking about him. You know, I never really had that growing up, so it takes away, I wouldn't say pain, but that feeling of not ever being wanted. And when I think about it, it's like, I'm glad I'm able to give that to him.
How you doing?
Alive so far. I mean, that's my default response to
Yeah, I can tell. How you doing now?
this very moment or generally.
This very moment.
Fight or flight. I tend to find words to describe how I'm feeling, not to like go into details of what it is for time.
So it's interesting that you speak of fight or flight. That's what you said. So I want to read some of your tweets.
My tweet.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
So this tweet you said, when you taste freedom, you will like to protect it. When you taste peace, you will hide from the world. What was going through your mind?
To be honest, I really don't know what I was thinking on the day that I tweeted that. I fight these things every day. I can tweet 1% of what I think. People probably cancel me. When you taste peace, you would hide from the world. It's something I had to learn the hard way. You know, I really don't like people, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, it just,
They stress you out.
yeah. And not everyone understands that I have a social battery that can carry me for like an hour or two max. And once that is dead, I need 24 hours to recharge. So I'm not able to hang out with people and talk endlessly. Some people think I'm mean. Some people think I'm a snob. Some people think I'm proud. I hear all these things and people tell me, oh, I used to think you're proud. I was like, okay, cool. Because, I mean, how do you know that? Just because I wasn't talking to you? You know, if it was up to me, I know where I would be. So that's what I mean by hiding from the world.
Here's another tweet. Top 3 projects of my career so far. Rehearsal by director Michael Omonua.
Yeah.
Over the Bridge by director Tolu AJ. 3 Cold Dishes by director Asarf Oluseyi. Might update later.
Yeah, that update might be soon.
Okay. Someone asked me a few days ago how I know this is what I want to do with myself. And I answered, I don't know how to do any other thing if you take away what I currently do.
Yep.
Seems to me like your thoughts are recurring.
Well,
or the same.
I like routine. Go to work, come back, play video game, sleep, eat, work. Sometimes I can be annoying and piss people off. But I don't know, man. I struggle with getting into other things. Don't get me wrong, I'm good with money. I'm an Igbo boy. I'm good with money. I have successfully run other businesses in Lagos. Successfully. I won't talk about it.
It's
And
fine.
currently, successfully going into other businesses as well. But I am skill-wise, this is the only thing I'm good at, skill-wise. Like when I say this is the only thing I'm good at, this is it. 15 years of my life doing this over and over and over again, failing, doing it again, failing. I think in a year I do tops one project that I'm impressed by compared to the other 400 or 500 that never made it, in my head. A few days ago, I was in Ibadan and there were these kids who they were dancing, they were rehearsing, and they were listening to a song, Shali Poppy and Olamide, and they were watching the video. And they were like, oh, this video is so good. It's so good. And I was literally standing right there behind them, watching the video with them. And then I walked away. And I said to myself, I wish they knew I shot it. I don't know if I can say that about myself concerning other things. You know, I can play football, but I've got a bad knee now. I can rap. Maybe I can try it again if I feel or if I have the desire to try it again. I know I can rap, but like, will I do it? I don't know. So yeah, my thoughts are recurrent.
2 more questions. What keeps you grounded, Casey?
What keeps me grounded? The fact that I might die any moment. I tend not to be ahead of myself all times. A day at a time, knowing that any day could be my last. So I go out there and do what I have to do like it's my last day. And like I said, I want to be kinder. But it's hard. It's very hard.
Why is that hard?
I wish I didn't have to deal with half the things I deal with. With people, the people that I know and relate to. These days, once it's 9 p.m., I turn off my phone. Yeah, because I don't expect work calls after that. I don't think I can get through to people or I don't think the world we live in can accept people like me.
Why do you think that?
I don't know, man. I look like fun, but I'm not. And The world has changed so much. Too many opinions lying around about people. Literally, someone you don't know, you'd have an opinion on their life. You know, someone you've never met, you have an idea what you think, what they should be. You know, so I'm the kind of person who don't have opinion about a lot of things. So sometimes when people ask me, "What do you think about this?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing." That's because I don't know, who am I to have an opinion about someone, about something that doesn't concern me, you know? And like I said, there are so many things I said I would never do. I found myself doing them with so much zeal. And that's when I knew that could have been anyone. Could be you today, could be someone else tomorrow. So you are in no position to say, hey, this is what I think you should do. This is how I think you should live your life. So I think that's the only place or the only time I'm kind because I have come to live. I've lived long enough to see that what I criticized someone for yesterday could be me tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. You said in an interview that your work is like therapy for you. When you tell stories, what wounds are you trying to heal?
Well, I try to forget about, in fact, that's the only time I forget about Obiajulu. I forget that he exists. I don't think about his problems. I don't think about what he's doing, who he was before that very moment. I only think about that story that I'm working on. That is my concern in that moment. Imagine me doing that for 30 days, 8 weeks. It's, it's true happiness for me. So I hate to explain myself to myself sometimes. It's like, why were you doing that? I start to, you know, ask myself certain questions and then I'm answering those questions and it's like, you know what, never mind. It's like, no, you have to answer them. If you want to become a better person, you have to have reasons why you do stuff. But then sometimes I just want to live with no reason. Yeah. So the moment you do that, you realize that whatever it is you think you're doing that is just for you is affecting someone else, and then there are opinions flying around. You shouldn't have done that. Da 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 da. And someone would say, it's a sin. Someone would say, it's a sin against my soul, my spirit. And then you realize you're fighting all these people. Yeah.
Possibly voices of people from when you were growing up.
It's very possible. I grew up around people who were very vocal, i.e., my dad, my aunt, both of them, my mother. These people are very vocal, very, very vocal. And there are things that happened to me when I was 4 that I can still remember clearly. I can remember what I was wearing, where I was, how the conversation went down. I have very vivid memory of those incidents. I remember them. I remember growing up when I said to my mother, I would either be a pastor or a footballer growing up. I was so sure. And I remember I had my hand on my friend's shoulder. I was 5. And I told my mother, may his soul rest in peace. Sorry, what was the question again? I started thinking about someone and I forgot. Oh, your voice is in my head. So yes, it's possible. It's possible, very possible. But to be honest, some of them are mine. Like I said, I question myself a lot. And then I think that happens because I've heard certain people's opinion about me, especially when they're from people that I care about. So I take them seriously. In fact, sometimes I talk to myself like those people and I hear their voices. So I was like, oh, if this person was here, what would he do? What would he say to me? And then I will zone out and go into this place where I talk to myself like that person would talk to me, and I could clearly hear the person's voice. I make up these scenarios in my head, but sometimes there are voices that I don't even know.
The mentors you have now, do you hear their voices in your head?
Sometimes when I'm at work.
Is that a good thing?
It's a great tool to have because sometimes they do remind me why I am where I am.
I want to say to you, before I say thank you, I want to say to you that I think that from being a child till now, you have felt deeply, and you're such a fantastic empath. It's the reason why things exhaust you easily. It's the reason why you feel so deeply, and sometimes you don't even want to feel, so you stay alone. But I think that is really an amazing trait to have.
That's the first compliment I've gotten all month. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, who's your daddy?
My daddy.
You can mention all 3 if you want.
My mentors. My mentors, I would say, his name is Kago Idebo. Most people call him Bishop. There's Mohammed Atta, who most people call Mo. And there is Wali Fista, who people call Wiley. These people, these men, this wonderful men, helped amplify my voice as a filmmaker. And they taught me the craft, the skill, the patience, and even how to exist in this space, this industry. For my own sake. So, and they had been fantastic parents.
So good. So, are you a misfit or a dreamer?
To be honest, I don't like tags. What I am or what I'm not. Because in all honesty, I don't know. I'm not able to say this is what I am. Like I said, I wake up today and I feel a certain type of way. And people have described me with so many words: enigmatic, controlling, rude, selfish, dream chaser. So, in all honesty, I don't know. I live my life as they come. And whatever the world presents to me today, that's what I am.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you. Annie, it was nice talking to you. Thank you.
You're welcome.